please remember to leave a like, a comment, share the video about, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to whatever this is, Not Worth a Cork End of Year Edition. Yes. We're going to be reviewing our 2024 streams, because we thought our egos are pretty big. We could do with a bit more of a, fondling of our egos, stroke of our egos. Obviously, yes. And joining myself is Dr. David. Say hello, Doctor. David.
Good evening, Doctor.
David. How are you?
Dr. David. I'm good. Now we've got through all the audio technicalities.
To be honest, now we know how this works. This should be a lot easier to set up in the future.
Yeah.
How have you been? You getting ready for your merry meggy month of Moistmas? You ready yet?
No, I've still got more stuff to buy. But I've made good progress. Started in October. So I've done some in October, some in November. So when I get paid again, I'll get the last lot and hopefully be good.
I started earlier in the year with my youngest nephew because toy cars, much easier. But I bought the last of the main gifts yesterday. But I've got a lot of bills going out in December. I need to buy... I want to put swag in gift bags for everyone so they have their own swag. So I want to make sure everyone gets a gift. It'll be wrapped up, but everyone also gets swag. Because I think it's cool. I think it's a good way to... Because for those who are listening, the one or two of you that will listen, so hi, Leona. When I usually buy swag, I buy bags of it, and it never gets touched for about 6 months, or it gets stolen by a member of my family because it's forgotten. Because my sisters, they're very good at...
At least in that scenario, someone actually eats it. I know they're not supposed to be stealing it, but at least someone eats it.
Anyway, we're going to review the streams we went through. We've done 16 streams, I believe, or 17 are lined up, so there's one still to go at time of recording, but that won't be till Christmas Eve. Dubbed the Merry Meggy Moistmas cocktail stream. I should just call it the ever so slightly, maybe mostly sozzled stream. Because at least...
Go on. We might not have long to get that sozzled, because obviously I'm not going to get there till quite late, and then we've got to eat.
Yeah. But you guys don't have to get up early in the morning. I do. So it doesn't matter. There'll be a fair bit of...
Won't be as early as you, but it'll be early for me.
It'll be, yeah. I will try and get out without alerting you, and I can do that, so it's all right. I thought...
Yeah, you won't be the problem. It'll be one of the children coming downstairs.
Man, the runners are there. I can still get up and down those stairs without making noise. It's just the second step at the bottom that creaks. So I simply put my hand on the banisters and I jump over it. It's not difficult. Anyway, I thought we'd go through the streams quickly and talk about them, what we enjoyed, what we didn't enjoy perhaps. We'll start with Jameson.
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed this stream. It was a good way to start the year, I think. It's one of our most viewed streams, I believe. Although there is one that contends, but it's on the Not Worth the Cork channel. And there's... Looking at the list of streams, only one that comes close to it in views. So actually, it is the most viewed stream of the year. Yeah, the American one you're looking at as well, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got the list up. Yeah, American and the English. English was 299. So
close. The one that comes... There's actually another one that comes really close, but it's on Not Worth the Cork, where this will be going. We're looking at for those who are listening to this, or hi, Leona, on the Not Worth the Cork podcast on Moist Ski Live, where we do this live, obviously.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this because I finally got to try the Jameson 18.
Yes, you did.
But I also, there are people I've discovered that just gatekeep for certain whiskies. They say they're overrated, they're dumb, they're pointless, they're too cheap, they're a screw top thing. Yeah. Anyone that says a whiskey's overrated, generally I think you're too set in your ways to be willing to try something different. And I hear like this, Glenmorangie, Jura, Talisker, I hear and Johnny Walker told they're overrated, and I'm like, some are, yeah. There are some that are a bit overrated, but Jameson's one of those whiskies where they're too affordable, except for the 18, to be overrated, really.
Yeah.
Because the standard is what?
Yeah, I mean, this
20 quid.
It's one of those ones because I had this conversation at work because one of the lads was telling us about the fact he drinks Jameson's.
Oh yeah,
he was
you
quite
told
pleased
me,
with himself, and I kind of looked at him and went, "Good choice."
Yeah.
And then my deputy manager was like, and I was like, "Hang on, what?" And he was like, "Well, it's all right, but it's not anything special.
Well, it's not, but
real whiskey drinkers
to,
don't drink it." And I was like, "Whoa! I see your comment, and I raise you my cabinets."
Yeah. To be fair, I'll see. If we're going to play that game, of course, the whiskey measuring contest that comes into here, I'll be see your cabinets. I'd like to equal that with my bar. The Marbury, but
yeah, I see your cabinets, and Meg sees you with his bar,
and my hidden stash of stuff sent off wish list. Link down below. No, I generally don't want to judge because I think we've said it before. Jameson's just an easy drinker. You were here for a week once, and you and I went through a bottle of Jameson because, first of all, we were pouring it wrong because the glasses were impossibly thin, but also because it's just an easy drinker.
Oh, those glasses, yes. The ones with no bottom and no discernible way of gauging how much you've actually
we worked it out eventually because we drank a lot of it.
Yeah. About a third of the bottle through, we're like, about another half away, and we're like, oh.
If that was a Glenfarclas Class 105, I'd be a bit concerned because that's you know what I mean? It's like, because it's Jameson's, it's just a nice, comfortable drink.
Yeah.
It's flexible if you want to do something with it, but if you buy it solely to drink it, not to collect it. I know they do collectible bottles, and I have a collectible bottle, but a collectible bottle of it.
Yeah.
But generally, it's not a collection piece. It's let's have a few drinks, And going through that stream, it's fun.
I've kept my special edition
the silver
bottle,
wrap,
and I refill that, but I keep it for the bottle, not for the.
Same with the football shirt one I've
inside.
got. It's the same reason. I kept it because it's a special one. I wanted the Dickies one because I have guitar straps that are made by Dickies. They're a really good band.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed that because they do lots of different ones. I mean, there are some areas I'd like Jameson's to delve into, maybe. I'd like him to delve into the, obviously, the cask finishes. I also, this might be a bit controversial with those who love Jameson's, but I'd love for him to do a Jameson peated.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it? It'd be so smooth, and yet kind of have to try and give you a bit of a kick at the same time.
It would be a weird one because of how they make it. Isn't it triple distilled? So
it is, yeah.
The peatiness might not be as present. So it could be really fascinating. Or is that done after? I don't know.
Well, there's peated, malt, isn't it? Peated barley, or whatever they use a lot of the time.
Yeah, well, they do.
Scottish peated ones, it's actually
peat smoke, isn't it?
Peated to start with, but obviously you could use peated barrel, maybe.
I mean, it could be
something that had like a Lefroy or something in it.
That'd be the Penderyn thing, wouldn't it? One of those is it's peat seasoned, cask seasoned in that way, or it was once a peated whiskey. That's a Penderyn, isn't it?
Yeah, one of the two. I can't remember if it's the actual peated or the
myth. It's myth.
It's like that.
Peated is peated. Myth is the one that's the sort of. It's not quite, but it is. It's not. I think that'd be good because it'd be a very interesting take. What was your thoughts on the Jameson stream?
I think it would have to be that one, that way round, because I can't see them making the peat stick if they triple distill it.
Yeah, I agree. What did you think?
Yeah, no, I enjoyed actually getting to have my third amount of Jameson 18 to your
three
first
to one.
one.
I see. Okay.
And obviously we got to reminisce about our entry into whiskey, which was through Jameson.
Bit of storytelling for us as well.
So, it was good. And we discovered, obviously, that they are worth a cork.
Yes.
As I believe someone on the server has, if you're on Discord, someone on the server has discovered today that one comes with a cork.
Yes, that was Bride. And that was the 5-barrel one that I have. That was originally an Amazon exclusive. And we did try that on the stream. We quite like it. I'll be honest, I don't dislike a single Jameson. I don't dislike any of them. And I mean, the whiskies, don't be that guy. I know you want to be, don't. Stick to whiskies, Jameson, please. Thank you. What is, before we continue, what is David drinking this evening?
So David is drinking the English whiskey company, the Infinity.
Nice. Okay.
The Infinity Peated.
Okay. We will delve into that later because that spelling mistake's important. I am drinking English as well, smoky, because it was chosen on Twitch. I've just topped it up a little, but I didn't finish it, and I thought, screw it, I can't bother to go and wash this glass up and get another one. So I'll just send it. Second stream, which also did quite well, the Macallan Scotch whiskey. For this, we had was it 2 samples or 1? We had one. We had the Arabica sample, didn't we? It was a cacao.
We had the...
What's the one you have a bottle of?
I've got a bottle of Arabica. I think the sample was
cacao. We had your photographer's one. Did we have a standard beyond my...
No, I think my photographer's one is the closest thing to a standard because it's a variant of the gold, which is a fairly standard Macallan
definitively,
gold.
then, this could be argued, then, it is not a standard Macallan stream. It's also one of the very first...
No, we haven't got a double cask 12. Or like 12 year in there, have we?
January. But yeah, no, we haven't...
I thought that was Jerez in January.
Is it Jerez or Jerez? No,
Jerez,
didn't know that.
Saying it properly, I think.
You know what, we'll get to that in a second. For this to make sense.
Yeah.
On episode number 2, we had samples, we had David's photographer, my 2 Night on Earths. One is my January treat from last year, and one that was meant to be my birthday whiskey but got undone by a bottle of Loch Lomond, but is still a delightful one, which is another Night on Earth. I've forgotten the title of this one. First one was a Night on Earth in Scotland. This one's a Night on Earth Journey. And very contrasting. My favourite bit of this is the fact that some dickhead, hi David, dipped a biscuit in it and said, what did you say it was again?
It's a whiskey for dipping.
That's a whiskey for dipping, that. Yes. Well done, David.
Well, science demanded. It tasted like biscuit.
Was it again?
I had to find out.
It wasn't. No,
that's a biscuit for dipping.
Was it hobnob?
It's like Marines hobnobs.
It was a fancier biscuit. It wasn't one of those fancier.
No, it was a shortbread.
Yeah, it was shortbread because we were.
It was one of those like Walker's shortbread things.
It was comparing the Night on Earth, which is very shortbread biscuit in flavour and smell, and you were doing that, and I didn't want to do it. I think I did, didn't I? Though I tried it, didn't I?
I think you did try it because I said it was really good, and then I think you were a bit miffed that it was actually quite nice, but you didn't want to. You didn't want to eat your drink or drink your biscuit.
I don't want to drink my biscuit. No, I'm not a fan. I think that was probably the best bit of that stream, to be honest. You dipping a biscuit.
Dave goes wild, dips a biscuit.
Too much, Macallan though.
Yeah, but no, that was good. That was enjoyable because those Night on Earths are given they're like a series, they're going to be very different, especially if you do get the third one as well.
Apparently, that's
very different. So.
When I first saw the announcement for that, they announced it as the 4th one. And I'm sat here like, bitch, what was the first one then? Because I've got the past 2. Is there one before it? I never bothered to look it up. But I saw that in the initial post on either Master of Malt or the Whiskey Shop, and I got really confused. Because I thought I was caught up. And for those who are interested, yes, I'm not collecting these per se, but I do have essentially 2 bottles of Macallan, and they're both collectibles that I've opened because I don't care. Although, to be fair, the only reason I bought a Night on Earth in Scotland, the shortbread one, was because I saw it on the top shelf and went, wait, I can afford a Macallan? I'll come back. And that was... when I went into that shop, I went in the day before David and I went in. I went in and I said, I've got all this money, not much. And I said, I've got this budget. What's your theme? Well, my theme was age statements originally, but it's been undone. And then I saw the Macallan in the corner of my eye on the top shelf, and I'm like, how much is that? And he said like 110. And I was like, well, my theme has gone out the window. I was going to go with 21s only. That was going to be the plan, 21-year-old whiskies. That one undid it. But then I did win a bottle of Singletons not long after I bought a bottle of Singleton 21. So I was like, all right then, fair enough. We're doing that, are we? Dickheads.
Yeah, but let's not forget, you do have a thing for a good box. And that's a very fancy piece of presentation.
I did ask him explicitly for something ostentatious, and I saw that, and he said it was a box inside a box. I'm like, what? And then that was when I wanted to get the Talisker 18, and that's the most depressing box. It's
quite dull, isn't it?
It's a nice looking box on the exterior, but it's very thin. It's not got much to it. For an 18 that costs as much as that, you'd expect a bit more, especially when you get to like the 25 and it's in a box that opens up like a Singleton 21. It's like, wait, now you start to box it well? But this costs like 3 times what a Singleton 21 costs. Come on, man. What did you think of the Macallans in the end? Did you have a favourite moment of the stream or worst part of the stream?
Well, I think we all know the favourite moment was the dipping the biscuit.
Yeah, you're right. The worst part's when it ended. You're right.
Yeah. No, I like because I like the fact that we stumbled across having an expensive bottle of Macallan by accident, because the gold one was just one we bought in Sainsbury's, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the night after my mother passed away.
It was around the time your mum died.
It was the night after, because we went in there and you'd bought me...
We just bought that randomly.
Yeah, you bought me the Gentleman Jack and gave me a choice of the Macallan or the Gentleman Jack, and I went with the Gentleman Jack because of the box. I should have gone with the cufflinks. I remember it came with... You had the nicer top, but I know it came with cufflinks. I remember that because it was such a... Because, again, it's that time when it happened. It was imprinted in my brain. The bottle topper, though, looks amazing on your Macallan.
Yeah.
I kind of want...
But yeah, that happened to be a Masters of Photography series. We
didn't know, though,
bottle.
did we?
They were just selling for 40 quid in Sainsbury's. It's worth like 400 quid if you buy them new.
That was a good...
Nowadays,
I will say, the intention this year was to start streams as strong as possible. So we went from Jameson to Macallan to number 3, which was The Magic of Johnny Walker, which did quite well as well. This was at your flat, I believe.
Yes, because most of the photo is in your
it's at the
cabin,
bar, yes.
But yes, the stream was in my flat.
Yeah, this is one of the first on location, because I was at David's to go and do an absolute madness, which, oh yes,
brings us on to the next
get to that in a minute. Yeah,
we'll discuss.
I enjoy Johnny Walker. This is, to be honest, I'm not. This isn't a shot at Johnny Walker or anything like that, but this was very much a let's just drink and enjoy what we know is good kind of stream, because we didn't really touch any of the bad ones, did we?
No, we avoided platinum. And, I don't think did we actually have red? I don't think we actually had red, did we?
No, we talked about a lot of the collectible ones you have. I have a few that are nice, but I don't really have a collectible Johnny Walker per se. Like some of the limited releases, I've got the Sweet Peach still, a new bottle that hasn't been opened on purpose. The one thing I think annoys me is the thumbnail's terrible because the bottles had condensation on. So we did a really bad job on the thumbnail, and I filtered it. But it was the only other issue with the stream, and I guess the one drawback of that stream was we didn't have the microphones we now have for location.
Yeah.
So
because that was not quite as panicked as the Welsh stream where we had the mic break.
That was that was something else. Well, the microphone works still, at least. In this instance, it's because we have done, I think, 2 streams in your flat, and both are quite hollow. And this time, next time we do this in January, when we stream in your flat, it'll sound better because we have 2 lapel mics. We'll be able to go for it and have a bit of fun and enjoy it, knowing the quality will be there.
Yeah, it will definitely work a bit better, better sound quality, and
that's the only thing that bugs me about
less echo.
Yeah, the only thing that bugs me about doing streams on location is that we didn't have lapel mics, and these aren't expensive, which is great. So I guess we'll move to it because that is a bit of a not necessarily a bad stream, but the audio does bug me a little. We'll go to number 4.
Yeah.
The 2024 January treats. This one's
statistically was a bad stream.
But yeah. I think because we went from Jameson, Macallan, Johnny Walker, and then just treats. We should have done
random.
Yeah, this one had no. I mean, a thumbnail wasn't ideal, but that was fine. This was quite an expensive stream though, because of what we had.
Yes.
Now, granted, one of the images on one of the bottles on the thumbnail, taken behind your couch, wasn't one we had, but you did buy as a treat to yourself. What was that, David?
Yes, the Kalila. That's the Gordon MacPhail Connoisseur's Choice.
We got to try that and stand like paupers outside the shop while they went to acquire things for us because he saw the money and went, yes.
Yeah, Meg's box had come out with his money at that point, and they're like, "We got." I
still maintain the funny thing is he walks by and goes, "I do hope there's no pennies in that," and I cry just because that.
I feel like you should have a penny in it this time. Just have one. Just have a penny in there somewhere.
I gave all my. A guy around the corner shop asked if we had any here, and I gave him £10 worth the other day. I've got none left. I had my niece bag them all up for me, and I took them round, and then I immediately just spent it all on chocolate and sweets for everyone in the house.
Typical.
I was like, I didn't need the money. It was just like pennies in a massive bottle. But no, I enjoyed this stream for a few reasons. First of all, we get to tell the story about the Connoisseur's Choice because that was funny. It was drizzly. We were in the standing outside under scaffolding, out with tiny little tasty.
On the outside of the locked shop.
Tiny little tasty cups with my box of money because I had to make sure I took that with me.
Yeah.
And then we went inside.
People looking at us as they walk past.
I bought you Taylor Tokyo, technically. I bought you the Ben Rins 15. You bought yourself...
which is the one we used on the stream.
You bought yourself, in keeping with a tradition, I guess, a bottle of Dalmore, which is a gift set, which is beautiful to look at.
It looked better than it tasted.
Well, time it did. And the Connoisseur's Choice to go in the collection. I have a Connoisseur's Choice, Tam de Voulin. It's a very good choice. I think mine's based on the original Glenlivet Tam de Voulin, but yes. But I'd also bought Singleton 25 and English 15 Founders Private Cellar Batch, which was your recommendation. And I will admit, when you first recommended it, I was reluctant. And I bought some other things, but those are the main two for the stream. I also bought Mortalac 12, 16, 20, the Dalmore 18, Old Pulteney single cask, I believe. There's something else, I'm pretty sure. There were a few other things. We had a bit of fun. We tried a lot of samples, went to Nando's.
Oh, I bought that Mortalac living cask thing as well, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. The 14.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. I'm pretty sure I bought a few other things.
Yeah, it's a good day of whiskey tasting when you have to have an emergency
Nando's that neither of us could finish. We ordered a meal for two and I couldn't finish it. Wasn't that what we did? Yeah.
We weren't prepared though because it was like an odd time of the day. We were like,
we've been to all the
not quite lunchtime
we've
yet.
Been to all the other shops first.
But I can't drive home.
We intentionally did this. We went to all the other shops first and then the whiskey shop because we knew this was going to be it was going to be heavy in two separate ways. It was it didn't do well on views. I enjoyed this because we got to try some very contrasting whiskies. We had my Singleton 25, which was delightful, very tropical. Tasting notes were a nightmare to find, but you could tell the tropical notes. We tried your Ben Rins, which was nice. To be honest, I'm not going to dig, but I just felt it was a very nice floral standard whiskey, really. It was good.
Yeah.
Not overly complicated, and that's not a bad thing. And it's got such a boring bottle.
It does, yeah.
Very traditional.
It's not quite got the same design as their 24 special release, has it?
Oh, the 24 year, 2024, 21.
2024,
the 21-year-old, 2024. Yeah, sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah.
But then we got to, I don't know where, we started with your Dalmore, didn't we?
I think we did. I can't remember if we did Dalmore Ben Rins or Ben Rins Dalmore. We did mine two first. But the Dalmore
I think your Dalmore must have been second, because I think we did it by price.
Yeah.
I think we did.
That was a bit of a letdown, wasn't it?
We drank that, and the first thought was, hang on, I think I remember asking, did I not drink my water first?
Yeah.
I think I asked for a do-over, and it's like, no, this is still water. I didn't realise that shit.
It's like, this is the same. Yeah.
We got to the point later in the year where we thought we might have to shake it first. I didn't realise it was a liqueur. But
drink a bit more of it before we get to that label at the back.
But this is where, with the English, when we got to that, which is the most expensive bottle I've ever bought, we opened it. I think it's half empty now. It's such...
That was...
Oh, God-tier sherry cask. You know why they're the world's best sherry cask whiskies. That whiskey confirmed it. When they won with the sherry cask Marud this year, they absolutely smashed it. I don't have a bottle of that, I would admit. That's something I would like to get. But I've got that, and you can't get it anymore, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
No,
that was a good buy. That was a absolutely delightful whiskey. Yeah. It's one of those ones where you don't want it to cost as much as it did because you want to drink it, but you can't drink it a lot because it costs as much as it did.
It's like the Highland Park Fire, but obviously costs half as much. The Highland Park Fire, if I can replace, I'll happily replace because that's delightful. But more of that. Yeah, if I look at the January treats, I think the most that's been taken from any bottle is still the Highland Park Fire by you.
Yeah.
Now,
mostly by me, yeah.
But no, I've had a fair bit, to be fair. But I remember buying that. That was such a good day. Like, we had a steak dinner and we had that, and I'm like, yo, we need to do this. That was like the first proper January treat where everyone's like, yes.
What's the look of it, isn't it? You pull that bottle out and like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, that's why
it's like, that's a whiskey. What? It looks like a flame.
When I was struggling to pick my January treat, as it's dubbed for the past 3, nearly 4 years now, the English is a bit of a swerve because it doesn't look as ostentatious as the Jack Daniel's Sinatra. It doesn't look as the Highland Park wins the ostentatious thing, hands down.
Yeah.
The Macallan is like a close second, I think. The English is like, I think it's third because the Sinatra is not necessarily boring, but it's just black box, you know. But
yeah,
the English, it looks deceiving. The substance is what matters, and it still looks great. And I'm still going to try and get the 17 white wine cask finished next year if I can. You know, because why not? Go 2 Englishes in a row. Screw it. Let's have a bit of fun. You know, I won't take cash, I guess, this time. What was your favourite whiskey to try then on that stream? As if I don't know the answer already.
I mean, it was the English, because the English was just so delightful.
We do have a plan to do a January treat stream based on the ones that I've got, and maybe ones David has got as well. So 2 separate streams. They might be Discord streams, they might be YouTube streams. We're not sure yet, but that could be a blast. Although,
yeah, because I've got my cigar malt that can be included from the previous year, which is
they're the ones you bought yourself. So I think that'd be great because you do that Portwood, and if you buy another Dalmore next year, you know, why not? Mm-hmm. That'd be good because that's like me in the Macallans. It's like a random little thing you have something of that isn't standard. Yeah. Okay. So next on the list. Glenmorangie, Folie à Deux, Electric Boogaloo, whichever you prefer, the madness of 2. Part 3 will be happening, a trilogy, I guess. Might become a quadrilogy, you never know. Will be happening in 2025, a third part to the Glenmorangie. A whiskey that the guy who decorates a pub I clean calls overrated. I understand why. I disagree. On this, we tried Calvados cask 12-year-old, a 12-year-old Amontillado cask. We tried your Cadboll or my Cadboll?
Cadboll. I think we had my Cadboll as a comparative, but we were trying yours.
Because we realised yours didn't taste the same as it did the first time. My Nectar, 16-year-old, and the Infinita, 18-year-old, which I got as a birthday thing because someone sent me money elsewhere, and I was like, well, I may as well buy something. Infinita! And
to Infinita and beyond. Absolutely. So you've got an Infinita and I've got an Infinity.
We're on something here. on something? Onto something, yes. On something, single malt. No.
Of course, the only one that's good in there is, of course, the one in the middle because it's a proper label.
The one, you're looking at the thumbnail, aren't you? Yeah. Yeah. You also had the Glenmorangie bottle pourer on there, the giraffe thing that we literally drove back to Tesco for to get. This makes sense.
Yeah, we literally drove like 10 miles and bought a bottle of whiskey just to get a giraffe pourer.
Yeah, I didn't want the bottle. I just wanted.
We regret nothing.
I just wanted the pourer. I didn't really care. I just wanted the pourer. I think did I give the bottle away? I might have given it to my dad or something. I literally only wanted the pourer, and it looks like a giraffe throwing up when you pour from it. It's great.
Had we have known the 10 would be discontinued, we would have kept it, but we didn't at the time, did we?
No. Well, yes. They sell half-size bottles in my local co-op of the new 12, and I went in the other day and thought, I could get that. And I looked at the price of that and then the price of the full bottle, and there was a £6 difference of £23.29, and I'm like, because it's on sale, the 12 main full bottle, and I'm like, I'm not going to buy it then, am I?
No.
23 quid for half a bottle? Are you out of your mind? No. I might just find a sample on Master and Malt, and then we'll have that, because...
Gone are the good old days of the Glenmorangie 10 being like £7 a bottle.
£7.50. That was a good day. I bought so many. I'm so happy. I sent messages to about 4 people to go and get them if they saw them anywhere. You, my dad, friend of the family. I think I might have sent them to my brother-in-law as well. I said, if you see this in any Sainsbury's you go to, buy them all. Why? Yes.
Yeah.
It was a good day. Do you remember what your favourite whiskey then was?
I mean, they were all really nice. There was not a really bad one amongst them. The Nectar, or Nectar d'Or, is obviously a favourite because I have a bottle of that, and it's a very enjoyable one. And to be fair, we should reference her at some point. That's Leona's favourite as well, obviously.
Yes. So
that's what
this is where we have an annoying contention thing, because obviously some people misunderstood when the Nectar was rebranded. They thought that meant that the Nectar was the same thing. But it's not, because the Nectar d'Or is Sauternes, which is the most boring pronunciation for a very cool-looking word, which is something you told me directly in DMs when you realised what it was. Whereas this one is finished in 5 different wine casks from various different countries in Europe. The nectar, that is.
Yeah, it made it a bit interesting. It was a very nice
Very
whiskey.
complex, I found it.
We do seem to like our wine casks these days, don't we?
Yeah, I'm quite fond of the red ones more than I'm the white. But I will happily have a crack at the English 17 white wine cask if it's still in the shop when I go there.
Chardonnay de Bourgogne aside, obviously.
That is an exception. I'm referring to the standards because that is completely removed. That and the red wine cask from the year before for Singleton, they're just so good. Can't compare.
Yeah.
You just can't compare. Rioja cask is pretty good as well. We know that.
Yeah, I mean, the Infinita was nice as well. So because there's the extremely rare, which is the original 18.
You can still buy it in some places, just not many.
And the Signet, which is 21, which would be
Is Signet 21? Because
well.
it doesn't have an age.
I think is the Signet 21.
No, they have a 19 and they have a 21 separately. I don't know. Signet's a weird one because they have Signet Reserve as well, and they don't have. I mean, if they have Signet in that whiskey shop we go to, if they have it, I will buy it, and Part 3 will definitely have it in.
Along with the Tales of, because we've got Tokyo and ice cream.
Ice cream. I'm a bit jealous about the ice cream one because I'd like both, to be fair, I will admit. I like the smell of it.
But not cake, weirdly. Despite our liking of cake, neither of us have Tale of Cake.
That one's the old bottle design. It's hard to find. It's also about £300 if you do find it. I found that, the heavy vanilla thing from, the whiskey tour we went on earlier this year, in the English 11, the smell of the vanilla was great. It's just a nice smell.
It was a weird one because we're not very good at picking up vanilla normally, are we?
Something about this time felt it was different because he didn't tell us it was vanilla until after we'd sniffed both, and I smelt it straight away and was like, that is a very heavy smell of vanilla this time. And I didn't buy the 11. I should have bought a bottle, to be fair. I bought 2 bottles.
They may still have it when we go in
They
January.
might, but I have to consider what I've got to carry. I bought the Burgundy cask. I bought something else. Oh, the Virgin Oak. Yeah.
To be fair, we're up and down so much in January and February, you probably just leave it here for 4 days and then it'll be going the other way.
I'll rub chili powder on it so you don't lick it. Get some Carolina Reaper oil and just put it around the edge. Anyway, I enjoyed the stream too. My favourite probably was the Nectar. The Amontillado is pretty nice as well, which is a strange one because the Amontillado is 12, but there is a 15 Cab Bowl Estate Batch 3, which I have, which is what we tried on the stream as well. It's not on the thumbnail because it didn't look symmetrical. Good. But it's 15, it's Amontillado, and it didn't taste the same as the 12. The 12 was nice. The Calvados was lovely, but I'm not the Calvados drinker, nor's David. I had a housemate at uni love Calvados because I sat in a fucking lounge on campus with this idiot until 3 a.m. while he was drinking it. He was hammered beyond reckoning, and I was like, all right, can I go to bed now? I was so tired. He was very melancholy. I can't be arsed. I'm not the right guy for melancholy folk. But I enjoyed this stream. I did. I think the only thing I think is a drawback with Glenmorangie is that they do make a lot of different cask finishes, and they cost about £70 a bottle. That's a fair whack for a limited release. But it did get me this year a sample of the 23 in a box that looks identical but smaller to the standard, which is nice.
Yeah, you got the very fancy sample.
Yeah, which probably never going to get open because they only have 10 of them. I know it's worth. Okay. We'll skip to the next one because we did go with a lot of distilleries this year. We went with the magical island of Jura, one of the most poorly received streams we've done this year. Actually, it's
which is a shame because Jura is a generally very popular whiskey, sells well across a lot of supermarkets. Oh, don't worry,
the one that sells even better in supermarkets is the worst one, and it's got great alliteration. I enjoyed the stream. We made a discovery. We discovered the OG10 tastes just like the bourbon cask.
Yeah, because we've been drinking Jura for a while, so our bottles are actually old. I mean, I've got the Origin, which is what was the 10.
So the only OG one I've got is that really now.
Yeah, I've still got some superstition left, but obviously, when they changed them, because I remember I was going to get Dad a bottle because he liked it, they changed it, and I was like, okay, well, what do I get? And I was like looking through, and the new recipe, the 10 was like slightly smoky, slightly peated.
Yeah, like my daddy won't drink that.
Well, I can't get him that. I had to get the 12 because the 12 was closer to the origin.
I gave my dad,
but then they released the bourbon cask, which is basically the same.
We got Father's Day last year at the house, and my dad was here, and I gave him a bottle of bourbon cask because he was doing the decking down the other end of the garden. So I gave him that for Father's Day, the bourbon cask. I'm glad I did. I'm glad I didn't do him dirty in that respect, because it's a nice bottle. And we had a few age statements, including the 21, which is my joint January treat thing, tied in time. But we also had some wine cask, rum cask. It was a lovely stream actually. But this is where
very varied.
Yeah, very varied. They do dabble a lot in cask finishes as well, and a fair few experimentals. Like they've got pale ale cask right now that's on sale in Sainsbury's because apparently it's in the bargain bin now.
Yeah.
There's a few others that they've experimented with and they've just sort of gone to the side.
Because they've got the winter one as well, which we didn't try. But
I've had that as a
winter edition.
I had that as a stream whiskey, and it went within less than a month. It's just the sherry cask for those who are interested. It's the winter thing is based on the fact that a lot of standard like Oloroso sherry tastes like a Christmas pudding. It's got that Christmas quality to it. It's not. A lot of whiskies though are done in Oloroso, so it's not as fancy as people think it is. Yeah.
It's probably the most standard sherry finish, I would think, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
The Oloroso.
It has to be.
But some people don't say it because they just say sherry cask because it's that, and some of them try and make a thing. Oh, it's Oloroso, as if it's like special.
This is where we're doing a sherry cask stream in 2025, and it's going to be based on different sherry cask finishes. And we put samples aside that covered certain types of sherry cask. And if I can get my hand on that Moscatel in the English distillery, that's happening because that's a sherry cask.
Yeah.
I would say on all the streams we did, this might be one of the worst ones we did. And I do want to go back quickly because I think it was episode 4, the 20 January treats, where I blew my voice because we'd had a gig, hadn't we? Or was it the 5th one? I think it was 4. My voice was gone. You had to carry it. You didn't. David's not a natural talker. By 6, though, I was fine again, so it's all good. I'm not saying it's forgetful or a forgettable stream. It's just not one of our more memorable streams of the year.
No. It wasn't our worst stream, though.
No.
We're coming to those.
We'll get this soon, don't worry. It's like few between.
It's a one view in it between the two
I noticed.
worst.
Viewership-wise, we did... Yeah, there's one that... I didn't get it. Episode 7 was actually it was at the end of 2023. We did a youngest age statement stream. Now, this technically wasn't our youngest age statements at all, but it was the ones we had to hand. I think we did work out there were a few others that could have qualified. This was a 10-year-old whiskey stream. And there are many 10-year age statement whiskies that qualified. And I think, if memory serves, on the thumbnail, only one of them we actually used, because we have a Talisker there, but it's Talisker Sky. Seaweed and Aeons we didn't touch. Highland Park 10 we didn't touch. We touched Bushmills 10. Talisker 10, I know that was a thing, but I can't remember the other whiskies. That's how... no offence intended to this...
Did we do Glenmorangie Original?
Possibly. I actually don't...
Was that one of them?
Eagle Rare 10? No, that we didn't have at that point. I don't remember. That's how bad this is.
I can't remember what else we did. Glen Turret? No, that would have been way too powerful.
That was a non-Isla peated stream.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember. That's the thing with this stream, and I feel bad in that respect. But we had 10-year-old whiskies, and we had a good time. But I don't. Again, it's like the Jura. I don't actually remember. In a bad way, the Freud 10 might have featured. I just don't remember. So I guess.
Yeah, it could have been the Freud 10.
So I guess, unless you remember something. Should we skip to number 8?
No, I don't really.
The Iridescent Isle of Isla. Now, I love this stream. It did well on viewership. It's also a bit of alliteration. I love it because it's all Isla, and none of them were alike. And we agreed at the end, the best smoky whiskey was Lagavulin 16, the best peated whiskey was Lafroig, but it can't be denied. Porterskeg, Bunnahaven, Bruichladdich, sorry. We had others, didn't we?
I think we did have the seaweed and Aeons as well in that
Might have. It's in the thumbnail. I don't remember us. Don't know if we had it.
Yeah, I think we did use it in that
we
one.
We didn't have Kilkerman. We didn't have. There's another one. We didn't have at that point the Ardnahoe because that wasn't a thing.
No.
There are other distilleries now. Oh, Kalila. Did we have Kalila from your 12?
We might have done 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bowmore?
Bowmore.
Yeah, Bowmore. That's an Isla.
Bowmore 12. We had that. We learnt that from an English distillery called Bowmore. I enjoyed this because any excuse me to pull out the Bunnahabhain 12, I'm happy to do it. And also, I will go to bat for anyone that is anti-Lafroig. I will go to bat. I'm sorry. Lafroig 10, Lafroig Quartercast, Lafroig Law. Anyone wants to argue that they don't do good whiskey, I will point at those three and say, challenge accepted. Prove me wrong. And if they say they don't like the 10, it's overrated. Oh, really? Quartercask. Whiskey? They don't like that? Okay. Law. Or,
the whiskey with summoning powers.
Well, Quartercask, yes. Although Law could possibly do it as well. I would say that this handily, if I gave this to my dad, this will segue, don't worry. If I gave it to my dad and put the Lafroig Law in front of me, he'd be like, smells like bonfire, that. And oddly enough, this handily leads on to episode number 9.
Yeah. Hi, Meg's dad, if you're listening back at this.
The perfectly playful, properly polished, passionately pleasant port cask whiskey. Now, this one was a swerve for a few reasons for me. And I should ask you, is there anything about the Isla stream you thoroughly enjoyed before we get to the port cask?
Well, I mean, obviously any excuse to have a moment of Gerald. We can't
thank
complain.
God you said for me.
No, it was just we do like our peated Isla whiskey, so it was just a very nice, very enjoyable stream.
Well,
obviously we got to reminisce about the acquisition of Port Escape.
Yeah, we also got to talk about the Isla samples we'd had, because that was in Norwich when I lived there anyway, and that was certainly a good reminiscence. Like, obviously pulling out the quarter cask in my housemate, coming up from the one corner, in the opposite corner upstairs, and coming down and going, whiskey? And then joining us for at least 5 hours of solid drinking. That was a good night.
Yeah, obviously we had the reminisce about the stream, the non-peated Isla stream, and then obviously where we had some peated Islas after as well.
We had
obviously discovered Port Escape, and both were like,
gosh.
Bosh.
Gift sets, and I broke your box. So I had to
2 days later, we both had a box of whiskey turning up.
Okay, so episode 9, Port Cask Whiskey. Now this is a swerve for 2 reasons. The first is it's the first episode to feature my father, who I will admit I had David do the intro because I got suddenly very self-conscious because it's my dad, and I'm sorry, but you try doing an intro to any kind of stream, with your parent in the room. Like, this is my job, and this is an extension of it. Okay, we did a little joke about that, because obviously it's not a job per se, this part, but it is my job regardless. So I do shows, streams, I do streaming, and I make videos.
Yeah.
But I got David to do the intro, and the first thing I said was, fuck off, because... and we still got monetized, so it's fine. But for 3 hours, 6 minutes, my dad was sat on a couch enjoying whiskey. But that's one swerve. The second was that we had purchased a bottle of Tawny Coburn, which I've been corrected on at last.
Which he had been incorrectly pronouncing.
And at no point had David told me it's not pronounced Cockburn. And he had many opportunities, by the way. Years of opportunities. Hell, there's a pub near his parents called the Cock Inn. It could be called the Co Inn. I don't know, because he's never corrected me. But I got to at least tell his dad.
Why would I? It was funny.
At a birthday party during the summer that I got to be a third wheel at, I saw his parents, and he asked me about what I thought about port, and I said, I find it fascinating that after all the years of knowing David, at no point did he think to correct me when I kept saying Cockburn Port. His parents don't like swearing, but in this instance, they didn't mind so much. That is a slow burn, and I'm going to get him back for it. But we had this bottle of Tawny Port, which his parents now have in a decanter. What his dad did at that point, he might be gone now, you never know.
Yeah.
But
I think that
surprised me. And I was reluctant to try this, as was my dad, because neither of us drink wine. My dad's brother, does drink port and beer, because he's a chav. And I don't drink wine. I've tried. I've not encountered one yet. I mean, there used to be some, like, rosés I can deal with, and maybe an odd white here or there, but red, no. Tawny Port, though, never had it. So we poured a glass. David did. Barman. and I liked it. Now, I did neck it because I wanted to get on with the stream, and I drank it, and I was like, hold up. And I got really pissed off because it was really nice, and I'm annoyed because I liked it. So I then bought David.
And then your dad tried it.
He liked it as well, and he bought us a bottle of Red Ruby port in a beautiful wooden box that's behind the bar still. We really do need to open that at some point. Although I think we're using that for the cocktails.
I think that'll be in the cocktails, won't it? One of them.
Yeah, it will be, because I think Sazerac. No, it's the port one with the rum and the whiskey, isn't it? We're talking about headliner, aren't we?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a wonderful stream. We had Bushmills, Glenmorangie, Talisker. We had Highland Park. My dad didn't like can't do. Talisker did try briefly for a bit, but then we gave him more Bushmills.
Yeah.
And then I pulled out a Swerve in Penderyn headliner. He called you a lightweight. I thoroughly enjoyed it because you didn't have the headliner and I did, and I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Which
I still don't have the headliner.
You had samples for your birthday.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed that stream. I was
about a third of a bottle in samples.
I'm okay with this. I was a bit nervous because obviously with my dad featuring for the first time, I was worried that he might, say names or something like that. But he didn't. He mentioned family and friends of his by name, but no one you could definitively. There's no doxing, right?
Yeah.
Something which, because he's not an internet person, he wouldn't understand yet. But it was a good stream, wasn't it? It did well on views as well. People loved my dad, which pissed me off.
Worryingly so.
That pissed me off. But it was a good stream, I think. And
yeah, the fact there was quite a lot of variety as well between the type of port that was used in the whiskies.
Yeah, that's a point.
The fact that some of them are a port cask, they've got the port pipes, you've got all the different types of making the whiskey with different ways of the
age
port.
statements too as well.
But the fact that you've got different types of whiskey there as well, because obviously...
Well, the American one we didn't touch.
You've got things like Bushmills and Penderyn, which are very, very smooth.
Yeah, the Penderyn was also
and
a rum cask
Talisker.
as well. Oh yeah, Talisker was still quite smooth for us, but there was, I know, the Talisker bite that some don't overly like. The Quinta Reuben, you can't go wrong. It set the standard and opened the door to many opportunities. Glenmorangie have to take a bow for that because they started it. And it's a banger whiskey.
And of course, the Angel's Envy was...
Did we have that on the stream or not?
Yeah, I think we did.
I think we switched it out. I might have put...
No, I thought we had some.
I might quickly pull up the list and have a little look, because I think I normally write the list of whiskies in the description. We had Bushmills, Dalmore, Glenmorangie, Highland Park and Talisker are written down.
Oh, no, we had it on the next one. Sorry, my bad. We had it on the next one.
We did insert the Penderyn afterwards, but Dalmore Portwood, that was the other thing that popped up, was that we had it this time.
Yes, we had the Portwood, didn't
we? were like, wait, this tastes all right now. But
so this is
it's
better.
less underwhelm and more mid-underwhelm. But yeah, we went from that. I enjoyed that stream. That stream did well. And then we went to one of our more popular streams of the year, second most popular, in fact.
Yeah.
America, where we had we had to do the one thing I didn't want to do, but we had no choice. We had to have a sample of Jack Daniel's Standard, and I
thought you meant put Trump in a picture.
I don't mind. That's a doctor, and he's president-elect to you.
Yeah.
We had two samples of Jack Daniel's, and we used one. Gave the other one to my dad, who put it in some old fashioned or something. Some dog shit drink, and it's only dog shit because it's got that in it, not because the drink itself is bad. It's the alcohol of the watered down molasses or treacle. But that was a good stream because we encountered a few Americans that really, like the Eagle Rare 10, which my dad liked enough to want a bottle of, and he got sent a bottle off the wish list, which was great.
The Angel's Envy was on that one. That was very nice.
If I'd
had the port cask.
Yeah, if I had a standard bottle of the Maker's Mark, I think you might have been a bit happier because that 46 didn't resonate so well with you. The Woodfords was good though.
No.
Double Oak, that was good.
Yeah.
We didn't do this.
Woodfords was good.
We did. I don't think we did Tin Cup on the thumbnail. I see Slipknot as well. And no, I'm not showing it.
Yeah, I don't think we did.
No, we didn't. I just went.
Did we do the Sinatra? I can't remember.
No,
we just used that for the thumbnail,
we did Buffalo Trace because I got it for £20, and we understood why that was so popular as well because it was kind of a very easy drink. Very easy drink. I gave that to my dad to give to a friend of his on the canal boats, who then vanished the next day after being given free swag by me. I literally pulled out 3 bottles of alcohol for him and a load of food because the guy needed food and loved American bourbon. And I'm like, bitch, I've just hooked you up and you've sodded off. All right. I enjoyed that stream.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, that was a very nice one, especially given that we do make jokes about American whiskey and, well, American in general. It was actually nice to try some good quality stuff from there and actually enjoy it.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so I feel like we're rushing a little, and it's because of time constraints. I do apologise, guys. Episode 11, Talisker is terrifically tasty, thoroughly thunderous, and truly tantalising.
Unless you're watching a stream about it.
In which case, it is the most poorly received stream by one view this year. It's one of the most poorly received as far as viewership goes. This was also the thumbnails.
I was going to say, I'm going back. I think that might be the most poorly received stream we've done.
Yeah, it is. That is also a location, though. That's at your flat, isn't it?
That is.
This is done at his flat because I went to his mid-year for a boat trip and to put on some more weight. It was a good time. We went through the 10 Sky Storm, Port Ree, and finally got to try the Talisker 18 that I bought for a mid-year treat, along with Bunnahabhain 14, which was not on the stream, but I bought a couple of things. David, you bought 3 things, didn't you?
Yes, but I can't remember what now.
I can't either.
What did I get middle of the year? I can't remember.
Was it a collection piece? You did buy something in there.
I'm looking around my cabinet.
Oh, you bought the Penderyn.
Oh yes, yes, that's it. The fancy Penderyn.
Yeah, because I was going to buy the Patagonia, and then you quickly saw the 14 Bunnahabhain hidden.
Yeah.
Yes, that was good. That was a good stream for us. I enjoyed that because, by the way, I'd never had the Storm. Sky is kind of standard. I don't understand why it has as many awards. The 10 is great, and we agreed the 10 is probably the best one. Value for money and what you're getting. The 18 is good, but it's so refined. It's a different type. It's not a Talisker anymore. You know, by what a Talisker. The others all are Talisker.
Yeah, it's not what you'd recognise as a Talisker.
It loses the bite, and like the Sky and the Storm are redundant because they both don't have to exist. Only one has to. Storm's harder to find, and Port Ree is quite nice actually.
Port Ree was good.
Yeah, say it like that. Yeah. I can't wait.
There's a few others. There's like the Parlay, and there's a couple of others now, aren't there, as well, that Talisker do that are
Distillers
there's a travel exclusive one. Yeah.
That were on sale, but I can't afford. Too many bills.
It was disappointing because for us, Talisker is one of our staples. We've had many a night drinking Talisker. We've got somewhat drunk off Talisker. Well, it wasn't just the Talisker, so we only got somewhat drunk off the Talisker.
I mean, it's certainly
the other things we had as well.
It wasn't a pre-drink.
No, that was the Hay Club Orange bottle.
That was definitely the warm-up thing. Yeah, that was a jolly good way to start.
But yeah, it was. I don't know if it's the fact it was on location.
It might have been. To be fair,
made it not be so popular.
To be fair,
but
the January treat also was on location, and the audio wasn't great.
Yeah,
but if that is the case, then it's a lesson learned. Because we only want to do good streams, and we'll get there, you know. And sometimes you can't always have a successful stream, and it's okay because after this we went back up again. So there are a few duds, but they're sort of in between ones that are really good. Yeah.
I was hoping you were going to forget about that
one. Episode number 12, delving into the magic of Glenfiddich. Now, this was good because when David went to Florida, he asked me if there's things I wanted. I wanted Bushmills Prohibition ×2. Got them. Great. I wanted Metallica 72 Seasons limited edition version. They're blackened, which is a brandy cask, I think. Yes, delicious. And I wanted a Glenfiddich 12 Amontillado finish, which we tried. Say it.
I like a Glenfiddich.
Thank you. He actually likes 3 in total, so imagine he says that 3 times out of the 6. Although he doesn't hate any of them, just to be clear, there are 3 that definitively stood out. We had the 12, the 14 bourbon barrel, which is not as good as the Rich Oak, I think. The 15 Solera, the 18 Standard. We had the XX Project, which is my celebratory bottle for 10,000 followers on Twitter, X, and the 21-year-old Grand Reserva, which was really nice rum cask finish.
Yeah.
And I bought that as a treat, and David dropped the box and damaged the corner. Yep.
No comment.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It happens. I'm not as upset about that. It's just a dent. 'Tis but a dent.
'Tis but a scratch.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think, didn't we have a small amount of the standard 12?
Oh yeah, and then we yeasted it out of the.
And then we went for
yeasted
the.
it out of the.
Yeah, we
yeasted
yeeted across the garden.
Yeah, yeasted it out of the cabin. No, so the one I thought you were going to like anyway was going to be the XX, because I'd had it and put it in my book, and I was like, yeah, no, he's going to like this. The 12 Amontillado was a complete a complete unknown, and I was so glad it wasn't bad. I was kind of dreading it, but Amontillado isn't the standard whiskey cask sherry finish, is it? So it took the right flavours. It was lovely, and the 21 was great actually. If they have the 23 in the whiskey shop, I might get it. The Grand Cru, the Cuvée cask.
Yeah, they had it last time I was in there.
Well, did you ask them about the Ben Rins and the Morclair? Just like, yo, in January, can you get these in for me?
I haven't done yet, but I can do at some point.
This stream did well, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It would have been great to have my dad for that one, to be honest. Because he features in one more before Christmas. There'll be 2 in total. He'll be in 3 this year of 17. That's not bad for him. The only 3. But yeah, no, it would. I think.
Well, he's had guest appearances in others, courtesy of the dreaded Facebook message picture of an animal that won't be named.
I may have missed something here. You have to tell me about it later. I don't look at Facebook.
When he screws us over.
Oh, yeah, he does do that. He does. He does do that. That's a good point. Because it's kind of a cliche of his little. He did that on the. He did that on a few streams, actually, didn't he? I actually got.
Yeah, I think he did it on the Japan one, didn't he?
He did. So I that reminds me actually, because I got. I'll show you something in DMs quick. There you go.
It better not be a fucking heron.
No, I got sent this by my next door neighbour. She literally took that to the garden and a video.
Word I'm not going to say because it'll get us demonetised if we put this live.
This will be on. Not worth Cork. You're fine. Yeah, literally, my sister messaged me earlier.
YOLO.
She sent me a 17-second video because that was a video of that on top of the trees where we live. Do you want to tell me what it is?
That was like a double Dave sip.
Was that a heron, David?
That was, yes.
I got sent a heron earlier.
You rat bastard.
I know. My dad, for those who don't know, that's actually a highlight of the streams. He made it a thing to appear randomly on the streams, and I think he started doing it with the English. After the English, sorry. Or during it, because he did it during the stream, didn't he?
Wasn't he there? No, he was there.
He was, yeah, but he did it during the stream.
But he did it. Yeah, but he did it on. He'd done it on one previously.
Oh, I don't think he had, because he wouldn't have known much about that until afterwards. I think it was during that stream.
Oh no, maybe it was.
And then he started doing it afterwards, because I had to coordinate with him to get you to see a message. Okay, so
what I can say is the Infinity, as a double Dave sip measure, not necessarily good for shooting.
The Infinity is
quite good volume.
The Infinity is a limited sort of thing. You can't quite treat it the same way you do any other whiskey because it's never the same as any other. Like Loch Fyne.
Good, but not really a shot.
You can't apply it to Loch Fyne. So, episode number 13. Now, this is where, after I'd been to Norwich for the second time in the space of essentially a month, we went to an English whiskey distillery. For a second time we've been there, an Electric Boogaloo. We had a great day. We bottled two of our own bottles. David bought an Infinity. I bought a Virgin Oak. My dad didn't like the majority of the whiskies.
No.
But...
No, he didn't like most of them.
No, he didn't. And I will admit, a bit disappointed in that, but at the same time, a great way of demonstrating how palates differ. Because that's a good way to look at it. The stream did really well on views. because we went with the Clarkson's English whiskey is the best whiskey in the world.
In the world.
I like that. But yeah, the stream did really.
And that's not just because we're British. Genuinely, if you didn't see that stream, it is because it won the best Scotch whiskey.
English Sherry Cask
in the world
Marud is the best English whiskey, best Scotch whiskey. I actually changed the thumbnail image where it says matured. I put Marud instead. I moved the R over.
Excellent.
Yes, on the thumbnail on YouTube anyway. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I love the virgin oak we got to try. We bottled Burgundy cask, which is brutally strong and delicious. The Infinity was nice. We had the standard because I bought it, didn't I? And we had a smoky as well, which Dad couldn't touch. I think did we pull out the 15 or not?
Did I?
I don't think we did we?
I think we were going to, but I got hiccups.
Oh god, yeah, you got done dirty. That was the highlight of the stream.
Yeah, we were going to, but then I got hiccups, so we didn't. Did we have the popcorn as well? I can't remember if I brought the popcorn down for that one.
I don't remember. I know the heron thing became a thing because it became a thing in the next stream.
Yeah. But yeah, we had a slightly odd ending to that one because of me getting hiccups and being compromised.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't happen this time. I'm not going to knock on wood because it would be picked up on the audio, but yeah, nah. I'm surrounded by wood. Just pretend I'm knocking on something, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I would say I'd knock on something, but the nearest thing to me to knock on is my table, and well, we know how that's been.
It's also not
recently,
made so maybe it should be. The final three streams, the first of which, episode 14, Japan's Finest Blended Malts. Now, I will stand by it and happily die on the hill and say the best standard Japanese whiskey is Nika from the barrel. It's strong, it's potent, it's got great flavour, it's good, versatile whiskey. I think it's the best one of the lot. But then David rocks up with his two, not standards, but opened Yamazaki and Hakushu, and it's like, they're not standard, but they're delightful. And the Hakushu is something very different because there aren't many peated Japanese whiskies.
Yeah, so does Hakushu distillers is slightly more common, partly because the 10 is really hard to get hold of, which is actually their standard. So the distillers is sort of their standard in terms of availability. Yeah. I mean, I have the Nika from the barrel as well, and yeah, it's a very nice whiskey.
It is.
But the thing I like about the Japanese ones in general, though, is that if you look at the single malts, but some of the higher end blends, they get away with using the Scotch spelling of whiskey because they're made the same way as Scotch, but they're done Japanese twist. It's like different woods and things, but they're made in exactly the same way. It used to be that they were actually importing the malt from Scotland to then make the whiskey.
The thing with the Japanese ones is
which are not allowed to do now,
a lot of their whiskies are screw tops. A lot of their whiskies are very clear in colour, yet the clarity of colour does nothing to change the quality of the flavour. And blends, by the way, the blended malts they produce, premium blended malts I think they call them, are fantastic.
Yeah.
The one I really like we didn't have then was the Togochi beer cask. That's very hoppy, in a good hoppy way. If you like a hoppy, like Jameson's IPA one, very, very similar in quality of hop. We did the standard, I believe. Akashi, Tokinoka.
Yeah, we had a lot of them, so we did
Nika,
standard.
And then your Hakushu and your Yamazaki. My Nika 12 is obviously on the thumbnail, but I don't believe we touched that. We just talked about it because...
No, did I bring the Japanese Harmony, the Hibiki? I can't remember if I brought the Hibiki.
Yeah, we tried that. Yeah, that was on the stream. Yeah. Actually, I don't know that... We may have relegated the Togochi to make space for the Hibiki. I would still argue...
We might have done, because I remember us talking about the 12 and the 17 and the 21.
I'm still going to keep I stand by Nika from the barrel being just the best, because value as well. Hibiki's quite... like, you can get 2 bottles of Nika from the barrel for the price of a Hibiki. It's not a bad thing.
Well, yeah, because I mean, the Hibiki Harmony isn't cheap. The Hibiki Harmony used to be... Okay, so cheap. It used to be like 60 quid. Yeah. It's like 90 odd now, so it's... you can now get nearly 2 bottles of from the barrel for the same price as a Harmony.
I thoroughly enjoyed that stream. Now, I'm going to have to speed run these next two on purpose. we're in a bit of a decline on viewership towards the end of the year, but there's a reason for it. It's called YouTube, but also because we weren't able to commit to as many streams because David's holiday time was up. I couldn't travel, so the streams were more sporadic. The last two are Lagavulin and a special release stream, both of which were thoroughly enjoyable, genuinely a lot of fun to do. Lagavulin especially because of honor, I put Lord John Marbury wherever I could on the screen because you have to have the Earl of Croydon. Baroness of Bricey.
The bar is named after him. For God's sake, so,
absolutely. And I'm
obviously going to be one of our favourites.
I had to explain that to my dad. He didn't know why I called it the Marbury Bar. I was like, I named it after a TV character from a show I like.
This sounds like we need to get your dad to watch West Wing.
He couldn't give a shit. Hey, can you imagine my dad watching anything political? Come on. The first season reminds me of like music from Home Alone. That's about it. It has that feel, that style of camera work. Aaron Sorkin is amazing. Rather than delving into them because we don't have time, if you were to summarise this year for Not Worth a Cork, how would you summarise it for yourself?
I think it's been very enjoyable because we've got a bit more professional about it. We're having a bar and having a bit of a proper setup with a mic and everything. We've had the luxury of trying some very, very nice whiskies from all different distilleries and
some as well.
Regions and countries. It's just been a lot of fun though because I know your job is YouTube, and this very much isn't my wheelhouse. I tag along essentially, but
paid in whiskey.
Because we're mates, because we just chat and drink. We've managed to make something of just chatting and drinking, so we can spend 3 hours quite happily, which some of these streams are, just chatting about it and enjoying ourselves.
To add to that, the longest stream we did this year was the English one, and that has my dad in it. The Port Cask whiskey is also one of the longest. It's actually the second longest stream, I believe, at 3 hours 6 minutes. Oh no, it's the third longest stream.
Yeah, the Isla. No, fourth because the American is.
Well, still, it's one of the longest streams we did, and it's that chemistry thing. Because you and I have natural rapport, we can just bullshit our way through conversation for hours. Insert my father, and that conversation is elongated because he will happily join in. And I think he thoroughly enjoyed himself this year. He's been on 3 streams.
Yeah,
he will be. But sorry,
I think that's been nice because he has tried to support what we've done with it. Obviously, he helped with his name, and obviously made the t-shirts.
The name was me. It was his suggestion to push for it. He got the t-shirts. The name was definitely my.
He's commented. He's given us some shit about it.
He's been great. He's also got us stuff for the bar. Ceramic heaters and stuff. He got us support. He very much enjoys when he can be involved, and I like that because he's very funny in his own way. I like that we now have a channel for it, which is where this will be going. I like that we've got Instagram that we barely use at the moment because it's kind of floundered and we've kind of fizzled, but we'll work on it.
We need to get better at that.
We'll work on it for next year. We'll work.
I feel like a challenge for 2025 was if we get my dad on stream.
Oh, Jesus. Can you imagine trying to tell him, can you please call Meg? Meg, please. Well, on that then, I'll call him Meg. First thing he says is, hello, and he goes with the name instead. I'm like, fuck's sake. I'm going to start calling you a cunt.
You might just call you young man.
He might. Actually, he does do that, doesn't he? You're not in that hoodie. He'll say that as well, won't he? Not too hot in a hoodie.
Yeah, or he'll sneeze and it'll blow all the speakers. Or
he's not as loud as... this is not a shot at my dad, but my dad is, like my sister's, a naturally very loud voice. Whereas I have to project it because I don't want to be, and you're not loud at all. Your dad does have a loud voice, but it's not like my dad's loud. You know what I mean? Like your dad's got. He'll be able to sit next to my dad on the couch and just talk and be heard. Sure, but my dad will still be louder. He'll probably get on like a house on fire.
Yeah,
that's a weird turn of phrase.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, wouldn't it? But no, I think it's just been really enjoyable to be part of it and get to try some good whiskies and have fun with fun with a friend. It started off as Cthulhu and friends.
Yeah.
show, and it still is that, just with a new name. So it's
nice.
It
got rebranded with the peated non. No, it was the Sampling Glenlivet's Finest Malts. So it was your whiskies, mostly. I've had a good year personally. We did more streams this year than last year. Some of them are didn't do that well on viewership, but it doesn't mean we don't revisit them. It just means it's unlikely we'll go near them as a theme. So Jura and Talisker, although to be honest, I can't think of a reason to go back to Talisker other than to feature it in other streams.
If we get to a point where you've got a 25 or something, you never know.
January might
probably come up.
Maybe in January, you never know. Although we have had a sample of that and done it on Discord, so we'll find out then. I'm looking at...
obviously, if we keep doing the special release sort of ones, then... actually, to be fair, we should... Yeah, because the special release one's got 169 views, but that was only 6 days old, so there's still potential that'll go up with
the special releases,
back.
You never know. I think the year is fizzling out a little bit, because that's what happens at this time of year. I think we've got one more stream planned, the Merry Meggy Moistmas cocktail stream. I think that's a great way to finish the year, so we can just relax a bit and plot 2025. And
I feel like just remind me to set my airbed up before I come out to start drinking.
I will not. Very good. Okay, well.
Right, so last thing then, favourite stream. What was your favourite stream from the year?
I'm going to go with... okay, so I've enjoyed every single stream, to be honest. I really have. But I will admit, the first whiskey stream we did with Dad, the Port Cask stream, was just so funny. It was so daft. That or the English whiskey stream, which is also my dad. But it's the thing of, I really enjoyed the English whiskies, but at the same time, I really enjoyed having... When he got into it, I really enjoyed Dad being there. What about yourself?
Yeah, so I would say it's either going to be the English, just again because of the good quality of the whiskies and the fun we had with your dad. Not that your dad enjoyed the whiskies, but the conversation was there.
It was good.
Or the special releases one, the most recent one, because there was just some absolutely delightful whiskies on that.
I wish we'd done last year's stream like that, because I think when we got to the Rose Isle, that was so good last year.
Yeah, so I think that one, just purely because of what we got, the fact that we're getting to taste some of these whiskies that most people probably won't ever have.
I will state that,
and that's quite exciting.
I love the Lagavulin stream as well, the Glenfiddich. I like that there are a lot of big names we went to this year, and there's still a chance we'll go back to in the future. And the Diageo special release, as it was, brilliant. I know that the annoying thing is the ones that are forgettable are the Jura, because I just don't remember. I know the whiskies I liked, the bourbon cask and the 21, and but there wasn't, and the impact of a 10-year whiskey. I just do not remember what we actually went through, and that I feel a bit guilty in that respect. But at the same time, that tells me a lot more about the whiskies we had on that stream. And I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, when you put them in the context of everything else we've had and all the other
normally
streams,
I list the whiskies here, and I do have the 4 whiskies that are listed as definitive: Bushmills, Talisker, Seaweed and Aeons, and Glenturret 10. And the reason why, all 4 are from different regions. We have an Ireland.
See, I thought we did do Turret.
We did Highland, Glenturret. Seaweed and Aeons is an Islay. Talisker is an island. Yeah. Bushmills 10, Ireland. I'm sure there must have been others that featured. Edredale.
Oh, yeah, we had the Edredale.
We had the Edredale, yes. Bushmills, Edredale, Glenturret, Talisker. I see those. And Benriach 10, which was terrible, by the way. The standard 10 is trash.
Yeah.
And sadly, I have a whole bottle of it. No, I have a Smoky 12.
Well, I'm sure your dad won't mind.
I have the Smoky 12 down of a standard 10. Thanks for that. Anyway, we should probably...
and on that note...
we'll end with that. Benriach just makes smoky whiskies, the rest suck. Thank you for joining us, guys. Really appreciate it. We're going to be back in December, of course, for the Merry Meggy Moistmas stream. Hope you join us for many cocktails that are going to be very alcoholic.
Yes. It's going to be an odd night for Dave because although I'm normally the barman, the drinks are all going to be pre-made, so I don't have to do anything. I just have to pour.
You'll have to mix a rusty nail.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Anyway.
Oh, is that because it involves the Drambuie that I'm bringing with me? Fair enough.
All right then, and the Pusser's rum, remember, for the rum port, and Anyway, thanks for joining, guys. We'll see you all soon. Say goodbye, David.
Yes, thank you very much. Goodbye, David.
Goodbye, David.